Good morning, gang. It's your favorite sports reporter from Oklahoma, reporting live from the Zagnib Mobile in the middle of the 405, where the wind comes whipping down the plain. Um, yeah, so the SEC championships are set. Georgia will face off against the Longhorns. The Longhorns basically ran up the score. I won't say ran up the score. They scored 17 points, but the Longhorns got out to an early lead and managed to just hold off Texas A&M. I watched some of the game. The Texas A&M really just didn't have an answer for Texas. Arch Manning got out there and got himself a touchdown. I'm telling you what. Are y'all sure, other than the fact that he looks like y'all, are y'all sure that boy's a Manning? Because he looked like he got sub 5 second 40 speed. And that's definitely not a Manning trait. I'm just telling you. His uncles run like they got on Frankenstein shoes. Anyway, Arch Manning, Quinn Ewers do the thing. Quinn Ewers tried really hard to give the game away a little bit. He had a few miscues, but, big game, excitement. There's a lot to be said for that. But having said all of that, Texas reigns victorious, and we get a rematch. Now, I'm not really excited for it. It doesn't move the needle for me. I mean, we're in the SEC championship, yes. Why it doesn't move the needle for me? I'm kind of over rematches. It's not about being scared to play Texas because they've gotten so much markedly better now. Mind you, I am fully aware that they have done their homework from the last game, and they have watched the Ole Miss game, and they have watched the Alabama game, and they have probably and Sarkisian is not a bad coach. He's no slouch of a coach. So he's done his homework and is what way to best beat Georgia when they meet again. But the reason I'm over rematches is I want to see something different. I'm at the point where I've been watching college football enough that I want to see something different. If Georgia has to play, let's say, here's what I'm saying. If Georgia has to play 15 games to get to the national championship, I want to see Georgia line up 15 individual opponents and Georgia beats them all. That includes conference championships. That includes playoff matchups. I want something more along the lines of like March Madness, because they've got that thing down to a science where they got it down to a science with the seeding and everything like that, where they try to make sure that everything is carefully seeded and things of that nature. I don't know, a lot of people are like, why is so-and-so seeded number 8? We beat them twice and blah, blah, whatever. They're very careful with the seeding because they want to make sure y'all follow what I'm saying. They don't want a whole bunch of rematches, because that makes for old. It's old hat. Been there, done that. So, having said all of that, we've played Texas already, and that's not to say that Texas couldn't come back and beat Georgia, because that is entirely possible. I just wanted to play somebody new. That's basically what it all boils down to. I don't want to have to look at another team that we have played this season. Not because I'm afraid for Georgia not being able to beat them, although in fairness, our play has been suspect at times and has cost us 2 games this season. Alabama and Ole Miss. And Mississippi State was reeling us in. Florida was about to reel us in as well. That's not my concern. I just want to see the Dogs play somebody new. But we know we played Texas. We know what they bring to the table. And they know what we bring to the table. And one thing that I do know is that if the Dogs are hitting on all cylinders, it won't be a problem. But I think the key to this is that they're going to have to get out fast and furious. The one thing that they cannot do is what Texas A&M did, and that is allow Texas A&M to get out to multiple score lead. Period. We've seen we have a good squad. I will venture to say we have a very good squad. If I keep moving, it's because I'm trying to get the shadow off my face. I'm tired of looking like Kratos or whatever his name is from that video game, the dude with all the face paint. Gen X are here. Gen Zers are going, dude, he has no clue. He's so old. Whatever. Yeah. You see this. I earned them honestly. I just want to see something new. But the one thing that Georgia cannot do is let Texas get out to a 17-point lead and then have to scratch and fight your way back, because any team that's worth their salt, they were able to hold. You see, they were able to hold off Texas A&M. Now, Georgia, I think, is a better squad than Texas A&M. But there's something to be said when you're playing from a position of trying to catch up. Sometimes things don't work, and then desperation will set in, and that's the last thing that we want. I think that the Dogs need to come out. They need to hit hard. They need to focus. They need to park their cars. Kirby needs to park all them expensive cars in the parking lot and stay out of downtown Clark County drinking and focus. I said it. What? But they really need to focus, because with 2 losses, it's hard to say. And yes, you could say that maybe there's a little bit of SEC bias. And yes, the argument could be made that Georgia has losses, and their losses were against teams that were top 10 teams at the time. And then their third loss, even though they do have a third loss, would have been in the SEC championship game against the team that will ostensibly be ranked probably number 2 by the time the rankings come out. You don't want to leave that to chance, because if you leave it up to chance, you can't blame anybody. You can't blame the committee. You can't blame anybody but yourself for not showing up and playing on the football field and doing what you were supposed to do. Just my 2 cents. No game prediction yet. I'll take a look at it a little bit later. Colin and I will be on tomorrow to discuss the game on Friday against Georgia Tech, and to come up with our game predictions. We'll have those tomorrow evening. Hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving weekend. I relaxed. This is the first time I have had 4 consecutive days off since, I guess, this time last year. So you guys enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We will see you tomorrow night, Monday, at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. And as me and my buddy Dave used to say, whatever the hell time it is in Bora Bora. I'm Mr. Fingers, and I am OUWG out. I'll see you later. Go Dogs.